Right, well, for those of you who've never been to a Crown Court situation, I'm going to walk through and discuss some of the finer points. You can see we've got a courtroom diagram here with a number of silhouetted figures, and there are each next to a caption which I shall read through now. So, starting from the top left, we've got the defendant. This may be you, this may be a friend or family member, this may be someone you care about. A defendant is a person who's been accused of an offence. The defendant sits in the dock and is sometimes accompanied by a uniformed officer. The general public. In a Crown Court situation, the general public are allowed to sit at the back of the courtroom and observe the proceedings. Next to the general public, we've got a member from the probation service, a probation officer in fact, who will help the court by providing risk assessments, advice on sentencing, bail and present breaches. Well, they do a lot of things. I don't know if any of you have had a probation officer. Generally, they're either lovely or really nice. And then we've got the jury, who are pretty much the superstars of any courtroom. This is a holiday for them. This is well, they're all having the time of their life out here, the jury. And we've got 12 members of the jury, and they listen to the evidence presented to them at the trial, and they decide whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty of the offence. And obviously 12 jury members is the same amount of people you'd need to start a riot. So obviously you can have a riot with the jury if they disagree with the judge's decision on sentencing. Then they've got themselves a riot in the courtroom. There you go. The prosecutor is a lawyer who presents the case independently on behalf of the Crown Prosecution Service. That's the CPS. So those of you who enjoy a nice acronym, I do enjoy a nice acronym, so I call them the CPS going forward. They present evidence to show how the offence happened and challenge the defendant's evidence if it's given. The prosecutor also asks witnesses questions about what they've seen, heard, or what's happened to them. Now you'll notice in this diagram, the prosecution is wearing a wig and a gown. That's one way that you can tell a prosecution lawyer. In fact, they're not prosecution lawyers, they are prosecution lawyers. It says so right there, lawyers, prosecution. And sitting next to the prosecution lawyer is the heroic defence lawyer. You will notice he's also wearing a wig and a gown. He looks a lot more human and friendly than the gentleman sitting next to him, I'm sure you can agree. I hope the defence lawyer is getting paid a lot more money than the prosecution lawyer, but hey ho. The defence lawyer will speak on behalf of the defendant and present the case to say why they're not guilty of the offence. They'll ask the witness and defendant questions about accusations that have been made by the prosecution, and the defence lawyer sometimes wears a wig and a gown, although sometimes the defence will represent themselves. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you've represented yourself in court. Normally I've had good results from representing myself in court, and for myself I've got no qualms in disappointing my defence lawyer if they don't represent me the way I expect them to. And so here we go, the usher is the wonderful he's the wonderful person that walks around courtrooms looking very well dressed and friendly. I don't know if that's right. I might edit that a little section, but hey ho. The usher prepares the courtroom for the trial. They make sure